The Omnic Weekly. Welcome everyone, it is Sunday, July 7th, and this is episode 179 of the Omnic Weekly. Frozen is already laughing because I made a huge kind of stupid mistake in the previous take. I said it's July Sunday, which is... But it technically is correct. It's July on a Sunday.
It's not wrong.
Exactly, but it's not what I wanted to say. Anyways, I'm Dee and I'm joined by Frozen and Geyser in a weird way because Geyser is sleeping on the bed.
Yeah, she's right there. You cannot see her, but she's one of my best friends, and she's staying over, so she's gonna just chill here.
For a split second, I thought you said she's one of my best friends and she's single, almost like you were trying to sell her. Like this is like some kind of market, like ladies.
No. I mean, no.
Yeah. Well, in case the name Geyser wasn't clear enough, that's why I said ladies. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Ladies?
Listen, stay focused. All right, but anyways, it's been a while for us. Not really for us. I mean, we've been talking plenty, but yeah, we have not recorded an episode of the podcast in a while. The last one that we did was with Matilda Smithius.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, we had to recover from that. That was such a difficult... No, I'm kidding. It was an amazing episode.
It was a really fun episode.
It was.
I mean, a lot of stuff happened. I met up with LP, things.
that sounds like... That really sounds like a lot of stuff happened. I met up with LP and everybody's like, oh shit, yeah, you had to deal with the Florida man. But yeah, that is kind of a weird story. The Florida man made it all the way to Germany.
It was crazy story because his girlfriend is from near Frankfurt. She lives there, and Frankfurt is like only an hour away from me.
Yeah.
So he texted me like 2 days before we met, and he was like, "Well, I'm gonna be in Frankfurt. Then, do you want to go there?" And I was like, "Yes." And I woke up at 6 a.m. for that day to travel to Frankfurt so we could have breakfast together and meet.
Why breakfast? Couldn't you just have said lunch? Then you could have slept in a little bit.
He wanted to try a famous bakery that was hyped in Frankfurt.
Okay.
And you have to be there early to be able to still get some stuff because it's like lines out the door.
Oh, okay.
So we
I saw the pictures. Yeah, it looked good. It looked very delicious. Yeah.
It was delicious.
Well, it was it's kind of funny that you guys met up because I've been doing this podcast for years now with LP and we have not met up in all those years. Neither with Hannah, actually.
I mentioned it was kind of funny that out of all the people on this podcast, I meet LP first, who's like the farthest away possible. Like, I mean, now we confirmed Florida Man still exists. He's alive. He's well. But it's kind of funny.
Yeah, and he's tall. No, you're really short. That was it. Right.
Yeah, it's...
it was so funny to see you guys standing next to each other.
He's like, how tall is he? I don't remember, but I'm 158 centimeters. I'm not that tall, so everyone looks tall next to me.
Yeah. No, and he actually, I think he left Germany yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I saw his stories.
He did.
Yeah, kind of sad. Has to leave her behind again. But that's the long distance thing. It's not always easy, but yeah, that's kind of funny. I mean, one day we'll get things. One day we'll all get to meet up at some point. It's going to happen.
In-person podcast?
Yeah. Who knows? BlizzCon, if that is ever coming back or something, Mm-hmm. We'll see. But anyways, I think for the last few weeks it's been a little spotty. For the next few weeks is also. I'm not going to I feel like I'm doing a weather forecast at this point, but I don't think it's going to get a lot better in the next few weeks. Terribly sorry, but there's a lot of people that are going to be traveling all over the place. So we're trying to, if we can do an episode, we'll definitely do one. But throughout the summer, it might be a little there might be a few less episodes because of travel plans and whatnot.
Gamescom happening. I'm gonna go to Gamescom.
Yeah.
And so I can tell you all what Blizzard is doing there.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the summer, of course, and it gives me the time because I've been working hard on getting everything organized on every level of my metal company, but I also want to kind of see what we can do with the podcast in the future, because we've been doing this for such a long time. I've did these recent changes a little bit. Now we're also doing, I'm going to keep talking proper English. We're also doing a video podcast, and I want to kind of see what direction we're taking this podcast. I want to maybe get some more people on board, because for LP and Hannah, it was still very difficult to join in. And Frozen is just sick and tired of looking at my face, because she's already looking at my streams, and then on Sunday, like, damn, there he is again.
Help, I'm just gonna help.
The thick Reinhardt is just yelling at me again. Jesus Christ. But we'll keep you guys posted. We're not going anywhere. It's just going to be slightly slower and then slightly different. But in the end, the goal is to make this podcast better than it's ever been. But I'll keep you guys posted. Now, we're going to make I'm not going to try and segue into this. We're just going to switch really brusquely into Overwatch.
Oh no!
Because
this is an Overwatch podcast.
That's what they keep telling me. That's what they keep telling me. So I mean, we're kind of, since the last time we spoke, we're in season 11. It's been since then that we spoke.
It's been something.
How you been enjoying season 11 overall?
I try to play as much as I can, of course, because I've been just away a lot. And I mean, next week's still gonna be like a lot of work, but I've been trying to play here and there, little bits and bobs, and I've had a lot of fun. I've been enjoying the community mode, though I haven't been playing as much as I thought.
Yeah.
Like, I tried it out for a few times, and I kind of went back to quick play.
I mean, you know what I think it is? It's like the April Fool's card and the Mirror Watch thing. Those changes were more impactful. They were more kind of crazy. They really gave you the feeling that we were playing something completely different. That while this card has some really good elements to it, even some stuff that I wouldn't mind that they keep, I do think they didn't push it as far as they did in the other modes, which is also understandable, because I've seen a lot of people pointing at the creators like, "Oh, you guys, you're pussies and you're not kind of." But I also think that Blizzard at some point was like, "Okay, let's maybe tune this back a little bit. Because I don't think they want to kind of how do I put this? Make it too crazy. They already have a few of those things. I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but it's not as impactful as the other cards were, and I think that is the reason why people don't play it as much.
I think for a few of the abilities that we arrived, like, I really like that they gave Ana the Baptiste jump. It's really cool, especially for getting to high ground.
Yeah.
But I think I would need more time to adjust with it, to be able to play with it well. And also, a lot of the times I just get Overwatch 1 PTSD, for example, with Orissa's ability from Overwatch 1 that she got back. Or Scatter Arrow for Hanzo. And it's kind of just solidified in me that some of those abilities I really don't miss.
Yeah. I really wonder, like, if I think about it, like, I've not played the card enough to say that Scatter Arrow really got me back to that place in Overwatch 1 where I hated it, because I think there has so much that has changed in the game. But let's go back to the Ana thing. Like, I did a video once where I said it was silly that Ana could jump so high, and one of the other cards, she just has this double jump that looked like Super Granny. I think this makes a little more sense now that she has the Baptiste ability. You can, I mean, what is the difference, But still, for me, it makes kind of a difference. But I don't think we're going to see Ana get a lot more mobility in the end. Like,
I don't think so either.
What Alex said during an interview with Spilo, he said like that they kind of felt like they pushed it too hard with the survivability of the supports. His opinion is, at least that is what I got out of that conversation, is that it's basically the responsibility of the rest of the team to keep your support safe, and that needs to happen more. And everybody needs to have more tools, or the team needs to have more tools to keep your support safe. And they shouldn't be the ones that can save their own ass so easily.
It can get frustrating when you have to ask for help and you don't get it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, like, I get why they gave support that much playroom, why they gave a lot of supports that much more survivability, because at some point we were at the point where a lot of no one wanted to play support really. Supports were blamed when they weren't performing, even though sometimes it wasn't really their fault. It was just because they weren't supported by their team or protected by their team. Because if your support is dead, they can't support you. That's kind of basic math here. But it was kind of like counteracting that. They kind of tuned it too far. I get that. I just hope they don't go towards the other extreme again, that we like always dial between those two extremes, that supports have too high survivability, or supports just feeling frustrating because you can't really help yourself, but no one will help you and stuff like that. It's really like it's a thin line to walk on.
Yeah, they need to find the middle ground, and I think they can't go back to that. That would be kind of a waste of time actually if they went back to that thing, because you can't have the philosophy that supports need to help the DPS and tanks need to keep your support safe, but if they don't do it, they don't do it. It's plain and simple. But I can also understand the other end. I play quite a lot of support when I'm not on stream. When I'm kind of just in the middle of the night, I'll often pick DPS just to practice on my DPS. I want to get better at DPS. What I notice is that I'm like, I think like 7 out of 10 games, maybe 8 out of 10 games, I don't get supports. I get DPS players that pick support, and I'm not. I fully understand that the support is not a healer. Look, I've been playing this game for long enough. I think we all agree on that. But if you have a support player that has 6 or 7k DPS and barely hits the 4 digits, I literally sometimes I congratulate people in the second round of, let's say, control or whatever, or that they finally hit over 1,000 healing in a game. But at that point you're half in the game and they hit 1,000 healing. And then I'm like, okay, now you're pushing it too far. And the only thing they're basically doing is DPSing. And it's a shorter queue for them. They can keep themselves alive, because that is also an issue with this current state of tanks. If you get a support, that support needs to focus the tank. Otherwise the tank is just like gone. And the DPS are just kind of left to their, like, as a DPS, you're kind of the last in line to get healing. And if you get these supports that are very DPS focused, yeah, you're kind of screwed. You just kind of, it becomes like a respawn simulator.
It's kind of interesting. Like, I've been playing DPS myself. Like, I've been trying more tank, more DPS recently. Like, I still play support. I still play my Ana, but I can say that, I don't know, with supports, it's of course the DPS picking supports because they have a lot of survivability. They have a lot of things, because not all DPS can heal themselves. Some can, but not all of them.
Not to that extent, yeah.
But it's also, it's not okay to punish support players because other community members that usually maybe don't pick support, because they only go the DPS route. I mean, you can't control your players. I get that, of course. And some supports are really overtuned regarding damage and survivability. I think the peak we had was when Iari released. That was kind of the peak of the problem, because at the beginning she was just headshotting everyone.
Oh yeah, that was insane. Iari was like, we have one community member, Scorpio, who listens to this podcast actually. Scorpio, please. That he used to be a Widow main. He started out as a Cassidy main, went to a Widow main, and now he's in the Yari main because, well, he's a bit of a weeb, but also because he can just headshot people like he would as a Widow. He's in his happy place. Yeah, it definitely was an issue.
I get how big of a problem that is, but also you do have more Healy supports, if I can phrase it like that. You do have more DPS-y supports. You do have more tanky supports. It's always been like that. And I don't know, maybe to dial back some form of survivability or DPS or anything from those few supports who are the problem. Because, for example, like Ana, she has her sleep dart, she has her nade, and if she used up both cooldowns, she's going to die.
Yeah.
Because she can't run away. And that's well balanced for me, because if you don't conserve, if you don't play with your cooldowns, you're kind of fucked. And it's not like that with Iari and with a few of the other supports. So I think she's just gonna call Kiriko.
Kiriko, yeah. Kiriko is definitely one of the worst offenders, Joe.
It's, for me, they should probably look at those few supports who are kind of the problem, not the problem, but who are more problematic. And then maybe see how it goes instead of just looking at the roster and tuning down everything. Because, yeah.
I think in the first instance, they're not even looking at the current roster. I think at this point, their focus is on dealing with tanks. I think they're definitely looking at future heroes. Like, we know Space Range is coming in a few weeks. And she is going to have a high mobility. I don't think she's going to be very DPS focused. I don't think she's going to be a hybrid. I think she's going to lean way closer to the Mercy kind of deal or kind of support way than anything else, which is, I think, a good thing. So the mobility is not going to be as... Well, Mercy can be very problematic too with her mobility, let's be honest.
He is a lot of fun. I don't know. Like, healing can be fun. You just have to do it right. For example, a lot of people say, oh, Mercy is boring. Oh, Mercy is blah, 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 blah. In low elo, I totally agree. You don't have to do a lot. The higher you get, the more difficult she's to play and the more skilled you have to be. And also more heart attacks you're going to have when you nearly escape a Widow shot and you just hear the bullet fly next to your head like zzz.
Yeah.
And with Space Ranger, I really hope they kind of capture something closer to that the healing just gets more fun again. Because, I mean, of course, doing damage, doing kills is a lot of fun. It gives that dopamine rush that, oh, I killed someone. That feels great. That maybe the support, the healing part of it also feels more rewarding. I don't know how you would accomplish that, but...
I don't know. I think it's a personality trait. I enjoy playing support just for the reason because I can save someone's ass. I needed to think. I wasn't sure if I was streaming or podcasting. Ass! I shouldn't say ass a third time because otherwise... Oh, duh. I just did. No, there's going to be...
I can just stop at saying ass, I swear.
There's going to be an ass appearing somewhere in the world now.
An ass-focused episode, yeah.
No, I kind of get, I enjoy playing support because of those reasons. Also because of the more unique features. Like, Lucio is a very unique hero, if you think about it, in the broad kind of spectrum of all heroes in all games. He is a very unique, and they have, the support role has a few of these really unique characters that in DPS you don't have as many of them. You have someone with a bow, you have a ninja, there's a tank has a hamster and a monkey. But in support, I feel like when it comes to playstyle, you have more of a diverse kind of way of taking on the role, and I kind of like that.
There's less characters, but more individuality.
Yeah, they're kind of more. Yeah, exactly. I think that is a good way to put it.
It's just a lot of creativity and uniqueness that some of those supports have that are just not really there in DPS. And I don't know, maybe it would be fun to have more creative ways for DPS or abilities like that. But I don't know, I think support is just kind of like a premium case where you can apply more unconventional methods.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to care about how projectiles, they're kind of secondary because the main focus is still healing and supporting.
Yeah, I think that definitely is part of it. I also think it's because of people want to kind of have a impact on the game. They want to be in that, play the game. They want to be shown on top of the list. There's this kind of thing in there. And a lot of players and a lot of gamers, this kind of competitive nature that is not only about your team winning, but also about your individual level. Like, I'll often kind of go, if I'm playing late at night before I go to bed, which I shouldn't be doing anymore because at that hour of the night, first off, it's not healthy to kind of be getting all worked up just before you go to bed, because that is going to definitely influence your sleep. And second, the people that are still online at that point are either drunk, stoned, or very, very angry. But that being said, I'll often go like, okay, after my next win, I'm going to go to bed. And sometimes I'll feel after win that I didn't have enough impact myself as a player on that win and don't consider it a win, because there's this one element to Overwatch where you, and I think that is what draws people to the DPS role, is currently that is the role where you feel that impact and the almost brag value that you create, or just like, okay, look at what I did. You don't get it as support. If you manage to sleep a Cassidy that is about to lay waste on your whole team, by the end of the match, everybody will have forgotten about it. If there's a D.Va bomb that wiped out the whole team, that is something different. If there's like a Genji blade that just completely wrecks the enemy team and that helps you to roll in the objective, that is going to be play of the game.
It is less flashy. Supporting is less flashy than DPS, that's for sure, of course. But I mean, I don't know, if you're a really dedicated support player, you're gonna see, I like when they introduce the little icons where it says you saved someone, because that's also an indicator of, oh, I did well here, I did the right thing, that was a good decision. And it's only for you, kind of, because I know playing support, like a dedicated support player will play support for themselves because they have fun, because they like it, not because they want external validation that they play well. That's kind of like my stance on like dedicated support players, because you're gonna see how your abilities help the others. The others are probably not gonna see that well, especially like Genjis, Hanzos, who are gonna be like this, just focusing on their goal. They're not gonna see anything. And you see your sleeves, you see your Suzus, you see your lamps that you throw as Baptiste to save someone and keep them up. It's kind of like you have to appreciate yourself and you have to be confident and know what you did to be able to, you know?
It just sounds like therapy. Like this is
no one's gonna tell you as a support, like, except maybe you're playing with friends. Like, oh, you did a good job. That was a good sleep. You did well there.
That's true. That's true. When we on voice chat, we tell each other like, oh, that was a nice one. We kind of we'll compliment each other, but that never happens in a random group.
Yeah, but that's with friends. If you're just with randos, no one's gonna do that. You have to do that for yourself because you know what you did.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, because that is exactly what most people don't have. People don't care about that. People want to get that recognition. They want to get that focus. They want to get that spotlight. They're there to kind of show off that. You see that everywhere. You look at my comments on all my posts or whatnot. There's always going to be someone that claims he knows better than everybody else, rolling in and rolling their opinion like it's gospel, while they basically have no fucking clue about game design in general. So no, definitely, I think it is part of the whole thing. And then you get these DPS that switch to support because they get shorter queues, or because they want something different. They want to play a new hero that they haven't played before, or they just like the fact that they keep. Well, that is also a thing. Like, so DPS have a really difficult time sometimes to stay alive, especially in quick play on the kind of gold platinum levels, because your supports are so focused on the tank. Because the tank doesn't usually have the skill set to keep themselves up. And tanks are just in a difficult spot. There's like a whole thing going on where basically the DPS are, and then you switch to support because that way you can keep yourself alive. Like, that's every single reason why the DPS switches to Moira.
You don't see then is if you only keep yourself alive, then your team is going to suffer, and then everyone's going to have a bad time.
I have not won a single game where I have a Moira that has 7k DPS and 2k healing. There's never been a game that I can say that we won because they just kind of sabotaged the whole game that way.
If you see a good Moira, if your team is winning and you have a Moira on your team, you damn well know, even though she has high DPS, she's going to have even higher support. She's going to have even higher healing.
At least equal. I mean, I don't mind a Moira that does a little more support than she does healing, because it's really easy.
Is designed to heal people while doing damage. You can literally throw your damage orb into the other team, still heal your team, and the damage you do with your orb is going to also fill up your healing so you can heal your team more. She's kind of designed to heal by doing damage as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know, a lot of people probably just don't know that as well, or don't know the mechanics of her to play her like that. But she's like one of the best supports we have right now.
Yeah, she can survive. She can do a lot of damage, and she can top the healing charge really easily. She can out heal a mercy. Like lately, I've been running so many mercies that are even not on top of the healing charge because they don't know how to play.
See so many mercies who are just focused on keeping their tank alive, even though they should probably stick with their DPS, damage boosting them, supporting them. But because maybe the other support isn't doing a job like that or something else, they just stick to the tank, then everything kind of shifts a bit, and you feel like, why? But you don't have an answer, of course.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of Farm Mercy too because of Pharah's kind of ridiculous state right now. Like, Pharah is very strong right now, and then you see the Farm Mercy making a huge comeback, and you're just standing there as a Cassidy or whatnot, going, "All right, I guess I'll just get that health back." Like that's why I play a lot of Sojourn, is because Sojourn has a nice, like Cassidy has this role to kind of survive and whatnot, but that role is in no way going to save your ass if they're focusing you, while Sojourn's kind of a slide can get it out of trouble really easily. I just kind of do this magic trick. I start shooting, and the moment they focus me, I just do this slide and I disappear somewhere in the scenery, and
it's kind of like Sojourn slide is like a close equivalent to Moira's Fade. You can just still get damage while you slide.
Yeah, you don't really disappear. You just go up in the sky. That's why I think it's in this card, right? That Sojourn can only slide forwards. Yeah, no, I hate that. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's no.
Nope. I really need to kind of be able to slide backwards and hide and then recuperate slowly. That healing, that self-heal passive, I know the whole community was raging about this when they announced it, and everybody was so pissed. Jesus freaking Christ, I'm so happy that's in the game now. I cannot imagine a world where that is no longer in the game. That would really suck, because it's, like I said, currently with the state of the game, getting helped out. I don't need to try and find a health pack necessarily. I can just wait it out for a few seconds and see it tick back. That is, and on the other end, I've never had the situation where I kind of hit a wall because the enemy player, for instance, is healing themselves with that passive. If I'm not able, not capable enough, if I'm too bad at the game to finish off my kill, then it's on me. It's on me. It's my fault. Yeah. So either you finish your kill or you live with the consequences. I don't think anybody wins when there's like a character running around with 2 health and you can't find him. That is in no way fun. That way they'll at least engage again. You can try and kill them again a second time. But anyways, I don't even know how we got all the way down here, to be fair. Oh yeah, we were talking about the community card. Jesus Christ, we came from far. Yeah, season 11. Like up till now, when it comes to the season vibe, like the whole thing, I've not been feeling it up till now. I feel like the whole retro heroes thing on paper looks kind of cool, but I feel it's a bit lackluster. I'm not a huge fan of all the skins. I like the mythic skin because of the weird sounds that it makes, and it reminds me of Rita from the Power Rangers, and it's a beautifully designed skin. But like the Sojourn skin, the Cassidy skin, the Genji skin, they don't do it for me. But
it's probably just not my vibe.
Yeah, it's not my vibe. I mean, there's definitely going to be people that enjoy it. For me personally,
definitely,
and I don't mind. I'm not complaining in the sense like Blizzard is failing me. I know that for a fact. I've known that from the start that not every season was going to be my taste. To be fair, up till now, I've been kind of I've seen a lot of seasons. Like I can't count on one hand how many of the seasons, like when it comes to the cosmetics, did not really gel with me. And that was the Dungeons and Dragons season was one of them. I think there's like 3 or 4 in total, and this one is also going to be one that I'm like going to look back at like it was nice, but not my most favorite season.
I think this is going to be the first time where I'll think like twice about if I really want to get the mythic. I've gotten all mythics so far.
You don't like the Ash?
It's cool, but I have so many Ash skins that I like better than this one.
Oh, okay.
So I don't see myself equiping it or using it as much. I will probably just get it to have it. And
I
then
wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I mean, we need to.
that is kind of the thing.
Yeah, we should do that.
I could use my mythic prisms for something else.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather probably get the Reinhardt weapon skin than the Ash mythic.
Exactly. I mean, I've made a whole video about this, and not everybody shares my opinion, but look, with these mythic prisms and the mythic skins and whatnot, there's this whole thing of, do I need everything? That is the question you need to ask yourself.
You don't.
No. I didn't get the Mercy skin because I had the same feeling you have with the Ash skin. I'm like, I don't care. I don't play Mercy.
I play Ash a lot. I love her. I think she's one of the few DPS I actually play and I actually enjoy playing. But it's just not for me, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be for you.
I mean, I'm not going to dive into this topic again, but at least now you have a choice. Am I going to get it or not? Am I going to save my prisms for maybe a next season? And maybe, the next season, the mythic weapon might be for Anna. And you can use, and you'll get a mythic skin for another hero that you want. And you're basically like, oh shit, now I can buy both. That is the situation I'm in. I didn't buy the Mercy skin. I've talked about this plenty. I didn't get the Mercy skin because the moment I switched to that prism system, I kind of approached these mythic skins from a very different angle. I just approached it like, okay, this is a currency. I'm not obliged to spend this. Back in the day, I didn't have a choice. I finished the battle pass and plunk, there it was. They dropped it in my lap. They were like, all right, here you go. This is the skin you want. Like now, at least I have a choice. I can also choose not to buy it. Yeah, but then I'm sitting on these prisms. What am I going to do with these prisms? But now they added these weapons and everybody's like, fuck it. Why are they not giving us enough prisms to buy both? Yeah, but then you get in the same, you're basically in the same situation again. You're basically kind of just collecting, and you're not you don't have any choice.
I think people just have a hoarding problem. No, but people do have a hoarding problem, especially in video games. But anyways, it's kind of the perfect season, though, for you that you didn't spend them last season, and now you can get the Reinhardt weapon skin, which is like perfect for you.
There was no way I was going to miss that. Could you have imagined that I got the Mercy skin and I wanted both the Ash, and I would have had to make that choice. Now I don't have to. I can get the Ash skin and I can get the weapon skin for Reinhardt. But that just kind of, throughout season 10, I was like, am I going to buy it? What am I going to do with these prisons? But I really feel like I don't feel like I don't want that skin. I don't want it. I just don't care about it. It's not my thing. I don't want it in my inventory.
It's still people being in that mindset of I need to have and own everything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's also a bit fueled due to like a few very valuable skins back then. And like, I mean, we had the whole discussion with Pink Mercy, where a lot of people got really mad. They were like selling their accounts for like $1,000 just because of the Pink Mercy skin. But I don't know. I still think it's going to take a while to get away from that mindset. If some people ever will get away from that mindset that you need to own everything, like a collection, like this is a video game. You don't need to collect everything in there. If you want to, of course, but then that's your own choice, your own responsibility, your own money, and you don't get to bitch about it.
Yeah, completely. I agree 100%. But anyways, yeah. Well, look, I'm having such a difficult time getting back to where we started out. We're kind of veering in so many different directions.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like I need to draw a map for where we started this discussion. But anyways, like with the whole things are coming. Not every season needs to be the season for you. It's not always. I've seen people getting really excited about these Power Ranger or. I keep saying Power Rangers because that is the easy, but there's so many other IPs that are tied into this.
Like Ultraman.
Yeah.
Kamen Rider.
A lot of people see Kamen Rider, and there is definitely those elements are very recognizable.
Definitely, I am confused a bit because it's definitely less Ultraman and more Kamen Rider in there, which is interesting because it's called Ultrawatch. Maybe it just sounded better.
No, but look, Ultraman is where it all started out. That was the inspiration. That was like where it all kind of began. I understand why they would use Ultraman. They want to make it a tribute to all these different, like, the Ash skin looks like Rita from Power Rangers. We have more of the Kamen Riders and even what are they calling them? The Beetleborgs in some of the skins. And then you have the name that reflects more of the original one, the Ultraman. I think it's a very wide tribute to that whole genre. And I think that is perfectly fine. And some people got really excited about that. They're really big fans, and I'm happy for them. I'm big fan. Happy for them.
Even I got the Anna skin this week in the shop just because I kind of like it. It's cool. And also, I think everyone has that one hero where they feel like I kind of want those skins.
Yeah.
Like everyone has that one hero. Like I'm looking like.
I really like even Reinhardt or Lucio. There are definitely skins that I'm like not buying, even if I love those heroes so much, because they're just not working for me. But
I have someone here who would disagree about Tracer skins. Look, like everyone has that one hero where they will just get every skin because it's like their favorite.
The once you base your name or your in-game name off a character, you're kind of obliged. Why?
Why?
No, don't anger her, otherwise I'm never going to be able to level our volumes because she gets really loud. But next week we're getting something interesting. I mean, this season up to now has not been the thing, but in a few days you can see about 10% of her face kind of butting in. She's like, I'm not going to be on the podcast. I'm just going to be there for 10%.
We're talking about favorite skins, and everyone has one hero where they get every skin. Okay.
That was so funny. You just can see like 10% of her face.
Watch the video podcast. You're gonna miss something.
Yeah. On Tuesday the Transfomers collab is going to start, which I'm looking forward to tremendously. Like when it comes to a lot of these people that enjoy the whole Ultraman and whatnot vibe, I'm slightly too old to have watched Power Rangers and whatnot. But trust me, Transformers, I watch those cartoons every Saturday morning on French TV, actually, because they didn't show them in Belgium. We had to watch it. Like, I saw Chevalier du Zodiac, which is, what is it called in English? I don't even know what it is in English. Like, all of these cartoons back in the day.
Can't just throw French at me and expect me to know.
What is Chevalier? I'm going to probably... we used to watch a lot of the cartoons in French.
I'm more of the generation that like watched Power Rangers Samurai and stuff like that. Like I'm really the generation. Like I woke up Saturday morning, like sat on my couch and started watching those silly fights in their costumes and everything built in, and I loved it so much.
I can imagine. It's Saint Seiya. That's right. It's like with the golden armor and whatnot. They even made a live action movie that sucked. But anyways, Transformers was one of those cartoons that I watched a lot, and I've always had this kind of like Optimus Prime is like my spirit animal, like just like Reinhardt is. It's like that same vibe, you know, that kind of low voiced.
If he'd get that skin, immediate buy for you.
No, I'm not even kidding. Like everything that I've seen up till now. So in case you missed it, they published this cartoon just before the weekend that showed off. I made a video. Look, this is the life of a YouTuber, but I made a video about my predictions for this event. What I thought was going to be the skins, and I said Reinhardt, Optimus Prime, Megatron, Ramatra, and it got so much pushback and hate, and people just calling me a moron and not knowing what I was saying because I said Ramatra. Everybody was like, it's going to be Bastion because Megatron also changes into a tank. Yet Megatron, over all the cartoons, all the generations, has even changed in the toilet at some point, I'm pretty sure. Not, don't quote me on that. That is not true. I just mean like they can change it whatever they want. Ramatra and Megatron are like the completely same vibe, the way that Reinhardt and Optimus are in the universe. And they published this cartoon, and what is the first, or this comic, and what is the first thing they confirm is that Ramatra is getting a Megatron skin. Megatron is picking. This is kind of interesting. What they did is they took the lore for Overwatch and they basically put the Transformers into that lore. So they didn't take it's an alternate universe. It's a slightly different universe, but it's a universe in which that the Transformers are actually part of reality, and Megatron is working with Ramatra, and he's choosing him as his avatar. So that is definitely confirmed. And then we see Optimus Prime, RC, and Beetlejuice, I was going to say. Jesus Christ. Bumblebee.
Okay, but if it would be Beetlejuice instead of Bumblebee, it would be so funny.
Yeah, if you say his name 3 times, he appears.
We said it already 2 times, goddamn.
Yep. There's actually a second movie coming from that, but that is different.
Overwatch.
Watch Geek and Plunder. I'll talk about that on my other channel.
Yeah.
No, Bumblebee basically discussing the Megatron is finding some ground on Earth, and you can see the silhouettes. And the way that Optimus is standing, his whole pose is just so Reinhardt. I think
the size too.
The size too, and then RC.
It's not wide enough to be Marga. It's just Reinhardt.
It's Reinhardt. The whole silhouette is based off Reinhardt. I think RC, she's standing on the floor, but I think it is going to be Echo. So she's not flying. RC can't fly.
That she looks a lot like Echo.
Yeah, and RC can also, and I think not in the first generation, but the later generations, she can actually fly. And then you have Bumblebee, and for me, Bumblebee. My first reaction was it's Lucio, but he's not wearing any skates or anything, which isn't necessarily conclusive because this is just like a shot. This is supposed to be Bumblebee, not Lucio. But it looks a little more like Baptiste, and it could even be May. I'm kind of around that spot. And someone said, what did they say? Wait, there was one hero. Someone said in my comments that I was like, oh yeah, you might be right. Was Venture. Venture was also, and I think Venture would actually make a lot of sense for Bumblebee.
I mean, personality-wise, I only know Bumblebee from newer iterations.
Yeah.
But even then, Bumblebee's personality and their vibe would fit Venture pretty well.
Venture's like the younger brother,
sassy.
that kind of vibe, like the younger kid that is looking up to everybody else, but is always kind of also very fascinated and kind of like that. And I think Venture, they also have that. They're also young, one of the youngest heroes on the roster, but also that vibe would actually match, and that kind of made me think you might be right.
Would be cool if we look at a recently released hero and then a collab skin for them.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Especially since they didn't get a lot of skins up till now, so that would make a lot of sense. So we got Ramatra, Megatron, Optimus Prime, Reinhardt, Echo, RC, and let's just call it Venture, Bumblebee. And I think there might be a 5th one. I think they might take another Decepticon, bring them on board as the free skin, like they kind of did. They teased all these skins before the event for the Cowboy Bebop thing, and then it turned out that Wrecking Ball was getting the also getting a skin. I think you're going to do something similar.
It's kind of cool that we get 2 tanks in this one, because with a lot of the collabs until now, we had a lot of focus on supports and DPS. So it's kind of cool that we probably will get 2 tank skins.
Yeah, it's very rare that you get 2 tanks. Like the Cowboy Bebop, there was Marga in which was also right after the release, by the way, and
we had Hamster too.
Yeah, and Hamster. Yeah, that's true. I just yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh shit, yeah. Don't even think about that. And with the
I always forget about that skin because I don't like it, but it exists.
It's an epic. It's not very spectacular. And then Doomfist was One Punch Man. There were only.
I mean, if you don't make Doomfist One Punch Man, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we had that K-pop with just all supports. It feels like we had 1 DPS in there, but the K-pop one was very focused on supports.
We had there was Kiriko, there was Sombra, there was
Brigitte,
and Diva.
Yeah, and Tracer.
And Junkrat Junkrat also got a skin, yeah. You're getting corrected by your audience.
Yeah.
That's what you get with a live podcast.
Yep. Yeah. Live audience.
No, I'm really looking forward to this one, and I'm kind of happy what they did with the comic because that kind of really sets the mood. Now, what I don't know if you guys have missed this, could be possibly if you've not been watching my channel, shame on you. But there's also this blue comet that is kind of hurling towards Earth on some maps. My first conclusion was, a lot of people actually, was that this was going to be that this was a teaser for Space Ranger. But it could also be Optimus Prime that is making his way down to Earth after Megatron.
Very well. I mean, the usual way how Transformers get to Earth is by just hurling themselves onto the Earth and see where they land.
Yeet! That's what they do.
They just eat themselves, yeah. It's kind of like the common way.
And he looks blue. The comet looks blue, so that makes sense. Megatron, Optimus Prime is also, mainly blue. So yeah, that might be a lot of people kind of ask me about that. Don't you think? Yeah, you might be right. I can't change my video anymore, so maybe.
I mean, it's all just speculations from Space Ranger to until we get further information for everything. Everything's speculation. So it's not weird that you could be wrong about something.
Oh no, definitely. I'm not even going to feel bad after it. I've been right so many times. I don't care about it anymore.
It was kind of creepy at some point, Blizzard had their eyes on you.
Yeah, but that is the thing. I mean, I think sometimes they think like, how the fuck did he, like, what was the thing that I called not too long ago, and that was so, I don't remember, because there are different levels in which they kind of talk to everybody, and I'm definitely not on the top tier. I know some, but not like a lot, but I don't know. Sometimes I just, it's just common sense. I just connect the dots. That's what I do. That's the only thing.
When you've been in the business for as long as you have, you're bound to get some stuff.
I've been following that company for a long time. So yeah. But yeah, I'm very looking forward. And this is the first collaboration that I'm actually excited for. And I don't mean this, and I'm not the type of person, and I wish the whole community was like this, but I feel like our community is sometimes like, if it's not for them, they hate it. It's bad. They shouldn't do it because I don't like it. I think that is the biggest bullshit that ever existed. Like, there's millions of players. Yeah. They can't do one thing that is going to please everybody. I always had this approach with these collabs. It's not my thing, but I'm really happy for the people. And the more collabs they did, I was like, all right, but now it's about time they do something different than K-pop or some type of anime. And they did it. They just switched things around and they kind of hit it right. Like, I don't think there was, there are a few things they could have done. Like I've said this before, like if they had done the, something DC Marvel, of course, that would definitely have been, the Thundercats, for instance, that would have been, oh my God. Fallout would have been amazing. Like all those things.
He-Man would be so cool.
He-Man would be amazing. It would have fit in this team very well too. But the Transformers, for me, it was just like, okay, I love it, man. I love it. That was, this is the first collab where I'm generally going to open up my wallet and go, right, bring it. I'm buying all of them, but we'll see. I need to see him first. And I think we're going to see him pretty soon.
Like, collab-wise, I think I like the K-pop collab. I got like 2 skins off of that. But for the others, I don't think I've purchased a lot of them.
I didn't buy any.
I enjoyed them. It's cool when I see them. But it's okay. Like, I don't mind. I'm still waiting on that one collab where I'm gonna be like, yes, I need that. I want all of those. I'm gonna purchase all of those.
What would that be? What would that be?
I have to think. She-Ra would probably be one of them.
Oh, that would. I
really love She-Ra. DC, like even if they only do like Batman or something like that. I love all the bad kids, like Batman and like Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Robin, Tim Drake. I would love, like, those would be 5 skins I just immediately purchased.
I love how you got me on board and kind of rejected me in one single second. You got me on board with saying, oh yeah, Batman. If they do something Batman, I'm on board. And then Bad Kids, I'm like, oh fuck, come on.
I don't know. I mean, we kind of have a Harley Quinn
Joker,
adjacent
Harley Quinn,
to.
Penguin, Dr. Freeze. There's so many villains that they could
I
do.
love the old school,
Robin.
like Penguin
Yeah,
and so like that.
Robin, I wouldn't mind because Robin is old school, and I mean, I don't mind any of the bad kids like you call them, but I don't think they're
It's
worthy
the
of a
biggest
skin.
I Work Alone family in the entire DC universe.
Oh, I think Geese is escaping.
Yeah.
Don't you need to notify the police?
That's fine.
Okay. No, definitely. Like Batman, for me, there's so much that they can do with all the villains and with some of his compatriots and some of his Catwoman. There's so much they can do.
Yeah. The thing is with Batman, the bad guys are usually a lot cooler than the actual heroes. That's kind of like the thing in Batman.
That's
like,
with a lot of
even like Dr. Freeze.
Yeah.
You have Poison Ivy, which is super cool. I mean, Harlequin, we already mentioned her. We have like a whole trio called the Birds of Prey with Black Canary, with the Huntress. You have so many cool, like either anti-heroes or villains.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I think we could just deck out the whole roster.
I think, but that is of course the thing. Like what I've noticed, I think now it's pretty safe to draw that conclusion because that was also part of my video. I think with these collabs, they always go for the low-hanging fruit. They always go for the main characters. They're not going too far off and kind of getting that one hero that only a few people really like. They're going for the like Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and not Beetlejuice. Megatron and RC.
It's Beetlejuice now.
I mean, RC might not be the most popular, but it also kind of, when it comes to inclusion, it is also very important.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about, because if they would do DC, they'd probably do Superman, Batman, Flash, and Wonder Woman, and maybe Aquaman.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of like,
yeah. The thing is, of course, like back with the Transformers too, like why do people only know about RC? Because back when it started out, RC didn't join the Transformers, I think, till season. Oh, it wasn't the first generation, but I think it took a few seasons before they actually got RC in there, because back in the day when they cooked up all these characters, they didn't really. They were thinking in a very different way. So yeah, but look, if they ever do DC, but look at the Thundercats, it's the same thing. There's like 4 guys, and look at the Smurfs. Jesus Christ, there's like 100 Smurfs. There's Papa Smurf. There's the I don't know what they call them in English, and then you have Smurfette all by herself with these 100 blue little creepy guys.
There's a few series that I think would be super cool in the Overwatch universe, but I don't know if they're too niche or if that would ever be a possibility. But I think Gravity Falls would look dope.
Nah, that's like way beyond my time. I never watched that. That was too old.
Like Bill Cipher, Mabel, like all like Dipper Pines. Like,
fun fact: Mabel and Tracer share the same German voice actor.
There we
interesting. Just amazing fun facts.
You get some extra fun facts this way. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. But
I didn't know that either.
I think I do think it's a possibility. I don't think they're always going to look at the things that Aaron and Jared, who are kind of more my age, are going to appreciate. There's a lot of young people in the community.
It still makes sense that they would do the things they would enjoy the most, do them first, kind of.
Yeah.
So I think for something like that, I have to wait for it to be a possibility.
But I know for a fact that Jared Nurse never watched One Punch Man till the collab actually happened, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't a big fan of Le Seraphim himself before the whole collaboration. So there definitely are things like Le Seraphim is a very kind of recent development. So I think the younger people on the team also get some pull. Everybody gets to suggest. So I wouldn't exclude anything from SpongeBob to Gravity Falls to whatever. I think SpongeBob is not even recent anymore.
No, SpongeBob's old.
Yo, come on. They're relative, okay? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just coming from a time when SpongeBob did not exist at all.
I'm younger than SpongeBob.
Jesus Christ.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I needed to take a sip of my drink to swallow that. I think anything is possible. And I'm happy that they kind of, I don't know, they took something that is not as kind of weeby. I'm just going to call it weeby as what we've seen up to now.
I mean, a lot of anime and K-pop, but this is feels very old school, but in a nice way.
Yeah. Yeah, old school and also very relevant at this point. Right? I know there's some people that are very upset that they didn't take the Michael Bay movies, but I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, there's movies...
Do you know how much they'd have to pay?
Yeah, well, I think Hasbro owns it all, but just those movies are fun to watch, but like lore-wise, I don't feel they build a lot. Like the old cartoons, that's where it all kind of started. But that's my old fart brain talking, so... yeah, no, I'm kind of and the weapon skins. I know a lot of people are not happy with the fact that they're also, and personally, I'm also kind of agreeing that do they need to cost 80 prisms? I would have rather seen them a little cheaper than the skins. For me personally, I like the weapon skins better than the normal skins because I actually see them. You equip a skin, I sometimes have to think, which skin I'm actually using, and I have to use an emote to see which skin I'm actually on, because I can't recognize the weapon immediately.
Oh, that's the one thing I liked what they did for the Rose Gold Mercy bundle, that they made her weapon into a weapon skin too, because even though I don't know, wear another skin, you can still equip the weapon because it's gorgeous, and also you can still show your support even if you want to sport other skins. So that's one thing I really like, because you're gonna see your weapon all game. That's the one thing you see, and kind of sometimes your hands, depending on the character.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the reason why I like the weapon skins better than the normal skins, but I can also understand that for most people that is not the case. People are really kind of they see it as some type of brag value and an identity. I totally get that. By the way, while we're talking about the Pink Mercy skin and the Rose Gold Mercy skin, by the time this episode goes live, that is going to be on, well, if you're on Patreon on Sunday, and if you're not on Patreon on Monday, this is the last day that you can get those skins. Tomorrow, on Tuesday rather, depending on when you're listening, that skin is going to disappear, both of them, the Pink Mercy skin and the Rose Gold Mercy skin. Look, it took us, 5-6 years to get the Pink Mercy skin to see it appear again. If you want to get it, now is the time. It's for a really good cause.
We don't know when we will get it again. It's for breast cancer research.
Yeah.
It's a very important topic. A lot of people suffer every day from breast cancer. As a family member who's had other family members suffer with breast cancer, I can really tell it's important. And even if you can't buy the skin, you can maybe show your support by sharing it, by like that the skin exists. It's a really nice thing that they do.
If you support anything, I mean, we need to get this disease out of the world. Basically, let's be honest. And I have 3 accounts, and I got it on all 3 of my accounts. I bought it on every single one, and I don't play Mercy at all. I'm just like, okay.
I bought it immediately, both of them.
I already had the Pink Mercy on 2 of my accounts, and the last one I did because that was made after the Pink Mercy. So now I have both skins on all 3 of my accounts. And I was thinking about doing a giveaway, but it's really difficult. You have to add people to your friends list and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's also kind of a difficult thing to arrange with the Transformers things coming up. But anyways, last chance to get those skins. Go get them. Go get them. And I think they've been breaking records with that skin. Like they topped the chart. Overwatch was at the top of the Steam sales chart when it came out because it sold so many times.
I'm very glad because it's just 100% of the proceeds are gonna go towards that charity. So
exactly.
Even if you don't want to support Blizzard, you can still get the skin, and not a cent is gonna go to Blizzard. You know.
Every single penny is going to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So I think it's a very good cause, and it is a beautiful skin. Both are very beautiful skins. Which one do you like best?
I don't know. I really like for both of them, I really like the effect. I think for color scheme wise, because they paired kind of, this is gonna get very geeky. They for the OG Mercy skin, she has a very cool hair color, and the silver accents are paired with a really warm toned pink. So for me, it kind of clashes sometimes. So I really like that they made it rose gold, because the warmer properties of the rose gold fit so much better with the pink in her skin.
There we go. You got a bit of color science. Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like for some reason I like the OG a little better because it's the OG. I feel it feels a little more authentic.
Nostalgia, probably,
yeah, I think so. Because I agree with what you say. I think when it comes to the combination of the colors and kind of the balancing and whatnot, I think the rose gold makes a little more sense. But
it's more cohesive. It's nicer to look at. But I get why people would like the OG better, because it's the OG skin. It's the one that was there first.
Yeah. Well, if you want to get on there and want to get both of them, now is the time. And other than that, I think more things are coming. I think this season is going to fly by again very fast. I think later this season, near the end of July, so let's say in about 3 weeks or something, we're going to see that Space Ranger test event. So the week before that, we're going to see some teasers. I also think maybe tonight or tomorrow we're going to see maybe a teaser for the skins for the Transformers. I think they might actually show something off. But over the next few days, we're going to get some news. Then it's going to be a little quiet again, and then we're going to ramp up to season 12. And I think personally, but we're going to talk about that in a next episode. I think season 12 is going to be a whopper. I think what they did with season 7, it was season 7, right? The invasion season where they released PvE, like
season 6.
I think was it season 6?
It was 6, I think.
6, yeah. Like the big the big release season where PvE released and whatnot. I think that is kind of a rhythm where they write it in August, and then probably right after that they all take a few weeks off and they just kind of have it die down a little bit to kind of work towards Halloween and whatnot. But I think that is a season that they're always going to want to pack with as much as possible. I think that is going to be the case again. We're not only getting a new hero, we're also getting a new game mode and whatnot. So I think this is going to be... I think season 12 is going to be a big one. I think it's going to be a whopper. I think it's going to add a lot of content that a lot of people have been waiting for.
It's kind of the rhythm that we had every time a season kind of feels underwhelming or it kind of feels less than the others. It's probably because they're working towards a lot of stuff for the next one.
Silence before the storm.
You can't have a few amazing and astonishing and great seasons without a bit of quiet in the middle or in between them.
Yeah, they can't make every season as big. Also, see, that is the thing that we also need to understand. We are simple creatures in a way. But if you want to kind of give people the feeling like this is an amazing season, it actually needs to be better than the previous one. Now, if you make every season better than the previous one, you're basically setting yourself up for failure, because that kind of raises the stakes and what you need to do every single time. So by kind of lowering, kind of like Frozen said, kind of having this gap that feels a little more, it's not like they're kind of being lazy or whatnot, but just kind of pushing a little less on the throttle for 1 or 2 seasons, and then pushing that throttle, you basically get people excited. And it's not like they're trying to scam us, because we also enjoy it. We also feel that rush of a good season and kind of that we need that. Otherwise, we start complaining that the game is dead again for the 12th time.
It's the rhythm of live service games.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of how I feel like things are going to be with live service games and what Overwatch is going to be. It's going to be an amazing season, maybe 2 amazing seasons, and then 1, 2, or 3 are a bit more casual.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say bland, but more casual, more like laying low, and then we're gonna have something great again. It's gonna be that rhythm.
Yeah. It's we need that arc. It's not like they are doing it. Well, they're doing it for a reason, but we also as players need that arc. We need to feel excited. We need to get that moment of oh shit, this is going to be amazing, something to look forward to.
Every time something improves after, like at the end of the season, it becomes the new standard. It becomes a new normal.
Yeah.
And you cannot always top that new normal.
Look, if you want a good example of how that cannot work, look at the state of our global economy right now. Everything that is happening in the world is just because of the fact that we need to give in to shareholders getting. Actually, in Blizzard, it was the same thing. Shareholders need more money than they got the first time. They need to see the value of their shares go up. If the value of their shares go down, they lose money. So that is like a story that can't keep going. You can't and it's the same with content. You can't. There needs to be an arc to every story. You can't have a movie. Well, the Transformers, the Michael Bay Transformer movies do it. But you can't have a movie where there's constantly action. You need to have these moments of calm, peace. And then they make the action and the hype or the build up to that action. They make it relevant. They make it interesting. You need to have a rhythm to every single story. I think that is the conclusion for today.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, let's round it up because we're ready. I said at the start we were going to do an episode of like 15 minutes.
Every time.
Because you have a guest. She almost escaped, but she came back for herself because she forgot that she didn't bring any food. So
I have snacks, so.
Oh yeah, you guys going for a drink, so that will definitely get her back. That will work like a charm. All right, Frozen, thank you very much for your time. I'll see you next time. There we go. That's what I was waiting for.